bacon, the thickly sliced. Wow. Got the blazing. Hi everybody. Did you ever go to the grocery store and then venture down one of those ethnic food aisles just to check out the food there that they have to offer, like the cow tongue and turkey gizzards and beef hearts and things like that, and then wonder, ooh, who the heck eats that stuff anyway? Well, I do that too. Only every once in a while, I like to purchase one of those items just to see what it tastes like myself. Kind of a food challenge, if you will. In this video, I'm going to try out one of those items right here. And this time, for this video, I selected pig stomach. Yes, it's pig stomach. People see these things in the aisles and they look at the packages and they just kind of cringe because it looks so disgusting to look at in its raw state. But a lot of times these items can actually be pretty darn good after you cook them. So what I did was I bought a package of pig stomachs, and there's 2 in a package. And after I bought it, I took it home and then I went online and I checked out different recipes. Now there's a bunch of different recipes you can get for pig stomach. You know, you can have roasted pig, you can have it baked, or you can have it in a stir fry. But what I did, I wasn't really sure what kind of recipe I was going to follow, and I decided I didn't want to buy a bunch of different ingredients for something I was really only going to eat once, you know, quite possibly. I mean, sometimes these things can turn out kind of bad, okay? So I decided I would just do the basic cook. And what that is was, I went to a couple of these different recipes, and what I got from them was the basic how to prepare type of deal. So I went with the basic preparation, and then from there I freelanced and went on my own. So what I did was I took out the pig stomachs from the package, okay, and they recommend you wash them off. Now these particular pig stomachs had been pre-frozen, so I'm assuming that they washed them prior to freezing them. But even so, I decided to wash it anyways. There was some white sinewy stuff on the stomachs. It was stringy and gooey, and I didn't really like the way it looked, so I took that white stuff off in the cleaning process as I washed them out in my sink. And then from there, what I did was I took the bellies and I put them in a pot, and they recommend boiling the pig stomach for anywhere, depending on the recipe, but anywhere from 2 to 4 hours of boiling, maybe a little longer in some cases, depending on how many bellies you had in, I guess. I don't know. But what I did was I put them in a pot and I boiled them for about 2.5 hours, maybe closer to 3. And the recipes recommended that the way you tell that the pig stomach has been boiled enough is you take a fork to it and you jab it, and if the fork goes through the belly, then it's good to go. So that's what I did. After about 2.5 to 3 hours, I took a fork to it, jabbed it, and then the fork went right through. So I said, okay, done, ready to go. So from there, I followed a series of freelance steps. What I did was I took them out and then I cut them up. I sliced them, and then I chopped them up into like bite-sized morsels, like you kind of see here, right here. So I chopped them all up, which is recommended in a couple of the recipes. And then I put one of the bellies in a Tupperware or a plastic container, and I doused them with the sauce. And again, a couple of recipes recommended soy sauce. You add soy sauce. So I went ahead and I put them in soy sauce. And I let the pig stomachs saute, or marinate in the soy sauce overnight. I put them in the refrigerator and I let them marinate overnight. And then The next day, today, I took them out and then I added some spices. I added some ginger. They recommended ginger. I just had some powdered ginger, so I added that. And then I added some garlic and onion. I don't know, it's not powder, it's the other stuff, the granulated that you get. And I went ahead and I added that and I mixed it all up. And then what I did was I laid it out on an aluminum foil on a baking sheet. And on that baking sheet as well, I also had a healthy layer of olive oil. Okay, my plan was to avoid getting the stuff stuck on the aluminum foil as much as possible in the baking process, because I did plan to bake these for a little while. Now, I realized when I started that it wasn't going to wholly prevent the pork from sticking to the aluminum foil. As it turned out, it didn't. Some pieces did become attached to the aluminum foil, but for the most part, my plan worked. So I went ahead and I put the pork stomachs onto the aluminum foil, and then what I did was I added 3 different kinds of hot sauce. Now, some people might call me chicken for adding, first the soy sauce and now I'm adding hot sauce to it. But from what I took from a lot of the recipes that I read, pork stomach actually just tastes like pork. Okay, so the flavor didn't really concern me too much. I wasn't really worried about being weirded out by the flavor, but I did want it to be something original. So I love hot sauce, I love spicy food, so I had 3 different kinds of hot sauce. I had Buffalo Wild Wings, their blazing sauce. I bought a bottle of that, so I have that in stock. So I went ahead and I added some of that to a few of the pieces. And then I had a bottle of hot sauce that I got from Arnold's Meats, which is a local meat store that we have in my area. I added some of that to some of the pieces there, and then I had some sriracha sauce, and I added that to the remaining pieces. So all the pieces had some kind of spicy hot sauce on them. And that's just my personal choice or my personal preference. So I went ahead and once I got them ready, I put them in the oven. And then I baked them for about 40 to 45 minutes. Okay, and I checked them once about halfway through. But my plan was, they did not look very appetizing in their just boiled state, even with the hot sauce on it. It did not look good, and the visual is really, a part of fine dining, I think, especially when you're eating something very unusual for the very first time. So they look kind of limp and soggy and just not appetizing at all. So I decided that I would cook them, that I would bake them well done. I'll just go ahead and bake them all the way, and take it to the house with that. So I baked it for about 40 to 45 minutes. I checked them, like I said, a couple of times. The last time I checked it, it was about 40 minutes, and they looked, blackened and browned and crispy for the most part. So I said, okay, that's good. I'm good with that. So I went ahead and I took them out, and I got them out, and like I said before, there were a couple that were stuck to the aluminum foil, but not bad overall. My plan worked. So here are the pieces of pig stomach. This is the result of my efforts right here. This is only one stomach. What I do with the other stomach depends on what happens here. But I'm going to try them out in front of everybody here and see what I think of them. Again, I'm anticipating they're going to taste like pork, even with all the spices on them, but we'll see. So I'm going to check. The first one I'm going to check, I'm going to try to find a really crispy one. I don't want to be too shocked. Not on the first bite. Okay, this is pretty crispy. I'll put it in quick, got it over with. Oh, this one may be a little too much. It's baked pretty good, it's kind of hard. But it tastes like pork. It tastes like really spicy pork. Huh. It's chewy on the inside. It's crispy on the outside. Chewy on the inside. From what I read online, pork stomachs are chewy. They're not chewy in the sense that it's rough meat or gamey meat. Ooh, that went down hard. It's not a tender meat. Okay, so it is a little chewy, and plus I cooked it for quite a while. I baked it for quite a while. It's been boiling for 3 hours, and then I baked it for 40 minutes. Okay, well, that was not too bad. That was not too bad. Let me try to find one that's got a little... Okay, this piece right here is softer. It's a little gooey. Okay, this actually looks like stomach right there. I don't know if you can see that. I don't know if that'll focus right. But that's a little gooey. Ooh, it peeled apart in a gooey kind of way. Alright, I don't know how this is going to go in my mouth, but let's see. Oh my God. Oh. This is chewy. This is, the texture is really soft. The other half. The texture is, it's not even like pork. It doesn't feel like pork at all. And as I'm chewing it, it's almost like I'm chewing fat. Is pig stomach fat? I don't know. But it is chewy. This is not the it's not my favorite texture right there. It was it's hard to describe. It's almost like, it's like chewing gum, kind of like a chewing gum, only a really hard chewing gum. What's a better description? I don't know. I'll think of it, but that was not a good piece as far as texture went. That wasn't my favorite. I like the crispy ones actually. They kind of taste like bacon. Not the cheap bacon, but the thick bacon, the thickly sliced. Wow. Got the blazing. Got a big chunk of blazing. Oh my God, is that hot? Whew. Wow. I don't have any water. I didn't get any water. I gotta take a break. I gotta go get some water. Okay. I'm back. I had to get some water here. That was a little rich. Wow. And I can tell it was the blazing because it was, I've experienced it before. Wow. That is a test right there, I'll tell you. Let me see if I can. Unfortunately, I put the sauce on before I baked it, so there's no way of telling which pieces got the sriracha or the Arnold's and which piece has the blazing, so here we go. Ooh. This is another chewy one. I thought it might be crispy, but there was nothing crispy in this one. It's like, the texture is like Elmer's glue. You know, if you get a bunch of Elmer's glue and it's like gooey. It's like that. That's what it's like. Wow. It's not a pleasant texture. Now, I gotta find another crispy one because that ain't doing it for me. It's almost like they fake you out. It looks like it's a crispy piece of stomach, but then when you bite into it, it's just like a veneer of crispiness. Yeah, it's still soggy. This is not too bad. This piece is like that, thickly sliced bacon. I gotta tell you, overall the taste is pretty good. It's not bad. It is like just eating pork, albeit not very good pork as far as the quality of the cut. But it's not too bad. I think if I had to do it again, I probably wouldn't put in the blazing hot sauce. that almost killed me. Oh my God, that was hot. But overall, not too bad. I'll go ahead and if I had to grade this, I would give it like a C+. I mean, it's not terrific. It's not terrible. And because I baked it and kind of disguised it, It's not like you know it's pig stomach, but it doesn't really look like pig stomach. My dog is sitting here next to me, staring at me. Now, normally I'd give him some of my food because that's the kind of daddy I am. But this stuff is layered in really hot sauce, and I don't want to upset his little tummy, so I'm not going to give him any of this. Maybe the next pig stomach, the other one that I have, maybe I'll give him some of that after I cook it up. And I am going to cook it up because waste not, want not. I don't even know what that saying means. But this is not too bad. Okay. So, it's a little greasy. I don't... But, I gave it my grade, C+. Now, I would not go out and buy this again and cook it up. Not because it tastes bad. It doesn't taste bad. It tastes like pork. But the preparation time is kind of ridiculous for me, a single guy living on his own. I'm not going to spend, buy something, spend 3 hours just boiling it as a part of the preparatory stage. You're not even cooking it yet, really. You're just boiling it. And then you got to bake it for, well, at least 20 minutes to a half an hour if you don't want it this well done. And you got to add the spices and all that. All the recipes that I saw online had spices on them of some kind. But it's just too much. It's too much work for me. So I would never buy this again. However, if you're looking for something unusual and you want to give it a shot, maybe a food challenge of your own, I'd say go ahead and go for it. It's not bad. And that's it for this video. It is the pig stomach food challenge. It went okay, except for the hot sauce. Amazingly enough, the hot sauce was the hardest part of this entire little dining experience. But that's it for now. Thanks for watching if you made it this far, and I'll see you in the next video.